Welcome back to another episode of the Comic Zone. I'm Charles, as always. This is the show, if you haven't seen it before, where I talk about independent comics and zines that I have both picked up and traded for, usually at local events or events around Canada. Um, we're doing a part two today. We covered a number of pickups that I got at the Panel One Comic Creator Festival here in Calgary, June 1st of 2024. So we covered that last time. That was last week. This week we're wrapping up. I had so much from that, so much good stuff. Even though I ran out of time to do the trades all the trades with everybody that was there. Which is very unfortunate for me. I was very sad to not be able to really do full trades with everybody, but I did pick up a ton of awesome stuff. So we're gonna start cracking through this pile of, oh my gosh, when I look at the pieces that are in here, are you kidding me? Look at that. We got a new Bobo Tea tonight. We got a new piece from Bobo Tea. We got a new piece from Jim B. We got a new piece from Kate. Oh my god. We got this amazing brand new book from Shea. Holy crap. What a show we're going to have. But the first thing I want to talk about briefly is, what's Panel 1? You might ask yourself. Well, Panel 1, it's a local creators, almost, how do you describe it? It's kind of a social network. It's sort of a social hub. It's sort of a common collective of creative individuals who just say, yes, we will be creative, and yes, let's have fun together and get to know each other. Panel One is this great organization of people that I've gotten to know over the last couple of years that, yeah, they do sketch sessions, they do workshops. They put on the Comic Creator Festival once a year here in Calgary, and they're now going to be doing one in Edmonton as well. I'm super excited for that, to be able to go up there and do this fun thing again later this year. So yeah, Panel One, that's their logo there. Check them out. They're at Panel One on Instagram. We're gonna let's just crack right into it. Let's set this aside and we'll just start going through them. The first piece I'm very excited to show you tonight is a piece from Miss Truzz. Miss Truzz is a Mexican-born architect who creates zines and comic creations. They do an amazing job. They were at Panel One not as an exhibitor this time, but actually as an attendee. So I got to kind of catch up. I have not seen them in, is it 1 or maybe 2 years since I've seen them. And they picked up some of my zines and reminded me that they had first learned of me when they picked up my Die Hard in 8 pages zine at the Plaza Theater when I sort of did a mini collaboration with them just to I had this Die Hard zine. They shows Die Hard for Christmas every year, and they picked that up then, and then I had met Miss Truzz at Miss Truzz or Miss Truzz. I'm not sure if I say it right. I always apologize up front in case I say it wrong. I try and say it every way I can, then maybe I get it right once. But yeah, it's great to catch up with them. And they picked up some zines and then handed me this and said, I have something for you. And awesome. I love that. Doing zine, trading art for art or passing your art along, that sort of thing is some of the most fulfilling stuff that happens in this space. So I was very happy to get this piece called Scissors from Ms. Truzz. Let's take a look at the back real quick. So Miss Truzz, Miss Truzz. I'm gonna say it's Miss Truzz. That's what I'm gonna say. Is a Mexican architect currently living in Calgary, Alberta. By day, she drafts layouts. By night, she doodles. Her mother put scissors under her pillow to protect her from the witches. That's going to let you know a little bit about what this is about. So this has some sort of Mexican folklore, and I love that stuff. Some of the best spooky stories come from Central and Latin America. I have a really couple really awesome pieces that will be coming in a few weeks on this program that I want to show you that are similar in vein to this. This is a great piece. Miss Truzz really did a great job. So let's crack into this. We're gonna read all the way through it. One reason I wanted to cut this panel one collection into two pieces is I really wanted to delve through some of these pretty closely in this group. And like I did last week, I'm trying to give closer looks at these things. So let's read through this because it's a really cool story. A baby is a worthy possession, and as such they need protection. A prayer by the crib and a goodnight kiss to keep them safe during their sleep. But even with all the caution, something might be omitted. Then those who were observant might be benefited. The witch took her chance, could not wait any longer. The smell of the child only increased her hunger. My apologies for any out of focus things. This is where it really cracks in, and you get this, oh my god, this rendering of this witch is amazing. Her tongue stretched in a manner so perverse to get the blood that would quench her thirst. But then her tongue is snapped, because luckily, extra care was taken after all. A pair of scissors is more than enough. Snap after snap, it cut the witch's tongue. With pain and sorrow, the witch left the home. A prayer by the crib, a goodnight kiss, and scissors below the mattress guarantee a safe, sweet sleep. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love this so much. The rendering of this witch is so good. I love this. It's such a great piece. I cannot wait to share more stuff that I have some, like I said, some other stuff that is in this vein, and I love that folklore stuff. Yeah, it's just pretty amazing stuff. So congratulations on that piece. That is really amazing. I always feel strange that in our sort of Western thing, we don't have this cool folklore. We've got the Tooth Fairy. It's about as close as you get. Okay, next piece. Another great one. These are all, boy, you're really in for a treat tonight with all these. I love this one. This is really quite heartwarming. This cover alone. So, Half Hour Studio, we've got Ryan and Sage. It's the story of how when you get a cat and you fall in love with that cat and you are a creative person, sometimes it turns out you better bone up on how to learn how to draw cats, because it's the moment you fall in love with that little critter, it happens. So let's take a look at this. We brought Peach home in October of 2020. She had to be the only cat in the adopter's house on account of being a little hater. She may hate other cats, but she's always been very sweet to her humans. She's got her secret chest spot, her charm point. And it's not a trap. She will let you rub her belly. And she has a bent tail, which is really cool for me because I have two cats with bent tails. And we didn't notice until we got them, until we had adopted them. And the adopt at the SPCA said, "Oh, it's great that you're adopting the ones with the crooked tails. We were worried no one would take them." And we went, "What crooked tails?" Because we had fallen in love with them already. We didn't even notice. So yeah, another charm point is that bent tail, and I'll attest that's true. Peach is the first cat I've ever had, but she's the best there is. And then we're treated to some really beautiful drawings as they're looking at different ways to render cats. Before getting a cat, I never drew them. I thought drawing animals was too hard. Well, how was I going to make drawings of my cat if I couldn't draw cats? Here's Peach, the girl herself. Peach, or Peep for short. And look at all these different styles of drawing. I love to see these explorations. I don't sketch enough, so when I see people showing their explorations and their sketches, it's amazing. I'm especially fond of calicos or peep cousins. Sometimes I wonder, what did Peach look like as a kitten? And I feel like I finally settled into a style which I'm really happy about. I want to draw lots more cats, but mostly my sweet Peach. This is a really clever way to essentially take what is a sketchbook explorations zine and wrap a narrative in it. It's so good. Yeah, Half Sour Studio and their little girl Peach. Oh my goodness. What a cute, what an absolute adorable cat and a great, great piece. So Caleb, I'm not sure if I've shown anything of his before. I've been following him for quite some time, and I think I may have another piece of his swimming around the collection somewhere. This one's called The Lion and the Thief, and I love it. It really has a cool design style as well. I can see Caleb's design sensibilities as the art, and we get a really, really beautiful um, short comic inside. It was originally published in Panel One's anthology called Rebirth back in 2019. Hopefully, Panel One will do another anthology in the coming years. I'd love to have the opportunity to try and be a part of that. This is the third printing. So congrats to Caleb. That's great. So let's see if I can get this all to... There we go. I remember it perfectly. My stomach was empty. Watch it, thief! Stole to try to satisfy. And that was when I saw him. The lion. It was as if it was only us on that busy street. My whole life I had done my best to be invisible. Yet here he found me. I ran at the sound of his roar, afraid of what he might do to me. Yet he remained. Alone I wandered, searching for anything. When it started to rain, I sought shelter. But in the cold and the wet, the fruit was rotten and the jewelry of no use. None of it could keep me warm amidst the downpour. Until our scary lion comes up and helps him out. When I awoke, the rain had given way to the sunrise, and he spoke to me in a booming yet gentle voice, saying, "Arise and follow." All at once I was confused and full of clarity, afraid yet calm. I followed through fields and streets, until we arrived at the gates. "What I have, I give to you." Warm light blinded me as the doors were opened before me. He continued, "Do not hunger or grow thirsty, and fear no longer." But why are you doing this? If you knew what I am, you would not give me royal garments. I'm a thief and a cheat, a liar and a beggar. I ran from you. I deserve none of this. The wicked often run, but they don't need to. I have always known who you are, and that is why I give it to you. Take what you have been given and do the same. There are others who remain as you were, hurting, cold, and alone. Go. I will. I promise, and thank you. Neat. It's kind of got the, like, I'd say it's got some, like, biblical overtones, right? It's the Aslan sort of thing. It's the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe kind of thing. When I see a big talking lion, I'm like, that's a biblical thing. Aha! Yeah, yeah, I see. At least that's the feeling I get. You know, it's got that sort of. I don't recognize this quote, but I would not be surprised if this were something along that. Who am I that the voice that calms the sea would look on me with love? Certainly sounds that. Really nice art, really cool art. And even though I'm not a overtly religious person, I always, I don't know, I find the stories and I find those stories and those things it's to be interesting. It's an interesting piece. And I don't know if it's like an Aesop's pair. It could be an Aesop's fable as well. I don't know. Hard to say. I'll have to do some looking up to see if there's inspiration that that's come from or not. It's a nice piece. We've got a brand new book. This just released like 2 weeks ago, I want to say. This is the brand new piece from Shea Proux. Shea, I don't know what can I say about Shea. Shea's kind of a powerhouse in the Alberta scene of comics. Um, does a lot of has been experimenting doing a lot of these line drawings, these really nice line drawings over the last boy, I'd say few years. Um, so brand new book called Just Happy to See You is from Shea Proux. Hi Disciple, how are you? So yeah, this is great. I literally could not believe that Shea was willing to trade this brand new release. Look at the look at that. That's a pinky's width of book right there for my zines. I was so happy. But Shay's really great. Shea has been someone I've really admired in the Calgary scene here, doing great work. This is a satirical kind of look at slice of life. So let's take a look at the back jacket. It'll explain it better than I could. Just Happy to See You is a mix of bizarre comedy and captivating autobiographical sequential art in which a breadcrumb trail of punchlines connects the dots between singing uh, Bougainvillea. I don't know how to pronounce that one. I've never had to say it out loud. Poorly thought out pandemic guidelines and murderous clones. Psychedelic visual narratives coupled with side splitting punchlines will leave you wondering, why did Shea Proux's youngest spend so much time huffing laughing gas in 2021? The answer is simple. It was just that kind of year. So, what you see a lot um, through this is sort of slices of life. What you would see as conversations between parents at a soccer game, let's say, but done between, in some cases, like here, done between the various pieces of ephemera at the uh, at the jungle gym at the local playground. I may be a playground, but I have a very difficult time staying grounded. You should really meditate. It's only hard at first. Now I can do it for hours. So what I like about this one is there's so many of these little conversations. Sometimes they're conversations had between people, and sometimes they're conversations being had between the various, like there's one in here where I believe it was like two leaves on a from a tree talking to each other. It's quite amazing. And they're just like these great, like it's slice of life. It's autobiographical slice of life stuff. Oh yeah, like this is a big one. Like here's this leaf talking. The conditions for reproduction just aren't there. It's a little frustrating. Okay, a lot frustrating. But we find ways to cope. We have our friends, our inside jokes. And then here comes a little butterfly and says, "Is that banana in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?" Oh, I wish. And then here it says the thing. I'm just happy to see you. And so this is something that Shea has done in some of her previous work is building upon illustrations. So taking this illustration of this leaf, this lonely leaf, and then start slowly adding to it, adding to it, adding to it, and getting the full picture of something, or it morphing things. We saw that in her ABCs of Monstrosity, I believe it was called, which is her sort of pseudo children's book, but every single letter of the alphabet, the thing that she's adding to it. So it might be like, A is for, what was it? I can't remember what, A is for apple, and then B is for bat. The two get smashed together and it starts to morph things. And by the time you get to the end of the book, it's this thing that's almost like the Blob, like the 50s Blob, has morphed and become this entity of its own. Shea has that sense of humor and is able to really like makes it happen. Yeah, amazing, really amazing pieces in here. Going from the autobiographical to the more absurd. Like here's one. You are now entering weird. Because this was made in of course, in the era that it was an odd number of years we had. So what an absolute triumph this book is. Really excellent. Shea is, like I said, for lack of any better term, I think a bit of a powerhouse in the local community here, creating some really incredible work. Here's a piece. Now, at panel 1, I met Kathleen Ralph at Kathleen's Doodling, and I happened to also meet the writer. I believe they also came to panel 1 as just an attendee and was able to come and got to meet them as well, which was pretty cool. So this was written by Heather and art by Kathleen, called Sister Martin of the Stars. Cool piece. It's got a neat, like, the way the background was done versus the drawing on top of it looks really good. So we're not going to maybe read through all of this because it's just got a lot more text to it. But let's start the opening of it. Over the course of her life, Sister Martin Luther King, named for the saint but sorely lacking in his patience and compassion, had come to see death as inevitable, but suddenness, she knew, was so often rarely anticipated, poorly prepared for. But as she held the instruction booklet in her hands and turned the pages, the practicality spoke to her. A language of logistics, with diagrams and instructions, suggested passages to read aloud and precautions to take in case of disease or crime. It was the language of utility, which was something she appreciated, in this and all things. But why is it paper? Asked Sister Luke. Breaking the grand silence felt very wrong. Sister Martin glanced at her sharply. Even aboard a ship, the rules were followed. In the small hours of the night, all was to be kept close from unnecessary sound and spoken word, as much of a rest as a protection from idle talk and gossip. Another time, another place, Luke's whisper would have brought a swift and silent rebuke. But then, Martin thought, even God themselves could appreciate exigent circumstances. There were so many other kinds of silence, and Martin knew many of them. This one rang with its emptiness. Sister Luke's hushed voice filled it, sloshing over the edges of an eerie calm. There had been so much noise just a little while before, such tremendous pressure in the quiet of the artificial night, wailing of alarms and jarring shutter of pressure doors slamming shut, the rush of the air, and the recording of a bland voice repeating instructions dispassionately. So we've got nuns in space on this one. And here's Sister Martin Luther reading the instruction booklet. Emergency, emergency, pressure failure, pressure failure. All personnel take pressure precautions. Suit lockers are located on the other side of hatches or ports. Step into the suit feet first. Draw the zipper closed. The hood will seal automatically. Ensure you are suited before assisting others. Emergency, emergency, pressure failure, pressure failure. And so here they are, suiting up, and then quiet once more, horrifying calm. What do you ask? To try my vocation as a sister of this house. Really cool piece. We're not going to read through all of this here because I will stumble over it too much reading at this crazy angle. But yeah, it's it kind of follows these nuns in space and the inevitability of death and all about existence. Cool piece. I've got two pieces here from Stephen Charles Rosia. It's awesome. I haven't caught up with Stephen since I think 2 years ago is the last time I saw Stephen. So it was cool to catch up with him and to grab two pieces from him. I believe I have a very similar piece to this one in the collection, but every one of these is a little bit different because what Stephen does with this particular zine, Hope Valley, is he adds some other pieces that are from found magazines or other found objects. Does this great baling twine. If you aren't from a rural community, you might not recognize the baling twine. This is something I've seen a lot of in my life. Hope Valley. Let's take a look at this. Yesterday, I came across the valley we once fell upon each other. Hope Valley by Andrew Lehman and Stephen Charles Rosia. Where the good earth, curved to the very shape of your mouth, still haunts me as you did that day. I almost seeing so much of these like storm drains and sewers. It reminds me of it. It does it. Whenever I think of storm sewers and that's where my mind goes. The darkness and unknowns. Oh, how I remember you, silent without gesture. Giving thanks to the infant rain who taught me to welcome thunder showers and awkward pauses only once the rain had settled down. And on our way back there, please do not forget your sense of humor, your spaghetti-stained dimples, your solar panel eyes, and perhaps an extra sandwich in the purse you plan to bring with you. To that morning years ago, which, if I could have packed in a jewelry case and have wrapped in yesterday's paper, should it ever wish to fall out of the hole in your pocket, I would. But lovely, I grow tired of the way we rise and fall, the way we spin and our mouths closed, with our arms wide shut. I may have read that a little out of sequence. We'll see. And pretend that the hills were always gold. But down that faded slope, next to the worms seeping through like thoughts of what will be, and you will find me waiting, my sleeves still dripping, still smelling of mildew follies. Still warm from your summers and springs, until our shadows then fall. So this tells the tale of someone who fell into this kind of ravine and was left there to be found later. And picked clean, I too become spring. Awesome. So yeah, it's written from this original poem that I believe Andrew Lehman wrote, and then Stephen Stephen drew the piece from it. So let's read it all the way out so you can hear it without me stumbling over it. Hope Valley. Yesterday, I came across the valley we once fell upon each other, where the good earth curved to the very shape of your mouth. Still haunts me as you did that day. Oh, how I remember. You, silent without gesture, giving thanks to the infant rain, who taught me to welcome thunder showers and awkward pauses only once the rain had settled down and on our way back. There, please do not forget your sense of humor, your spaghetti-stained dimples, your solar panel eyes, and perhaps an extra sandwich in the purse you plan to bring with you. To that morning years ago, which, if I could have packed in a jewelry case and have wrapped in yesterday's paper, should it ever wish to fall out of the hole in your pocket, I would. But, lovely, I grow tired of the way we rise and fall, the way we spin with our arms wide shut, and our mouths closed and pretend that the hills were always gold. But down that faded slope next to the worms, seeping through like thoughts of what will be there you will find me waiting, my sleeves still dripping, still smelling of mildew follies, still warm from your summers and springs, until our shadows then fall. I too become spring. Ooh. It's kind of a chilling one. I don't do it justice in my reading, but it's quite good. And here's the next piece called Clutch. So Stephen Rosia did this with Gaia Cardinelli and Sean Tonelli. It's called Clutch. And I love that cover. So the art in this one was done by Gaia. The writing of this one was done by Stephen, which is pretty cool. And it was printed by Tongue in Cheeks. Tongue in Cheeks Comics is Chad Colpitts, who we have shown some of his stuff a previous time. That's I think that's him, and maybe it's a collaboration. I can't quite remember if it's him and a couple of other guys or if it's just his. We may not read through this entire one. It's a long issue, but we'll go through the first couple of pages for sure, because the art and the writing in this one are pretty cool. Here they are driving. Shit, fuck, screw it. There's a lot of this is done without words, so got it. Sweet baby Jesus, as he works on his car. My camera's not doing justice to this artwork, I'll tell you. There we go. Look how good that looks. Man, what great artwork. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of dialogue in this one to explain it, I will just kind of do a quick flip through of some of these pages and just take a sampling of the artwork. Just really good. The color palette is really tight. I love it when people have a really sophisticated sense of their color palette. As somebody who works pretty much purely in black and white, I really appreciate it when people show me how color should be done. Work like this, and especially work by Nick Johnson, really makes me think about the coloring. Look at the great work they did on this here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful work. It's full of like motion and fury. Oh my god. Beautiful stuff. That's called Clutch. This next piece is from Bo at Bobo T. Now, we've shown a lot of stuff by Bo. I'm a big fan of Bo's work. This is a sketchbook zine called Muddy. I wish I could draw like Bo does. It's got a really like fluid nature to it, but also like really playful. I've been struggling over the last many weeks to explain what it is I see and love so much about Beau's work. It's so hard to explain what I like about it. It's almost got a gestural quality throughout it. Like I can picture the pen flying around. Um, but it also has that you see it in this one as well. You almost see I see so much color and so much put into it, but I also see in some of the ways it's drawn has that like drawn in the back of the notebook like a fun like almost stream of consciousness coming up with these characters. I get that feeling from them, and everything I see from Beau, I'll see stuff like this that has more of that feel for me of like doodling in my notebook to then I see different styles on all of it. You look at the style of rendering here, very different than on the front cover. Beau is this great, almost chameleon of styles, where you've got these really minimal character designs, and then these ones that are much more complicated, and then you see these ones that are like way more like even more complicated, even more detailed than that. And Beau moves throughout those styles and just run like is able to move from one style to the other. And I don't know how he does it. It's great. So it says, "Hello, welcome to my first of many sketchbook zines. My name is Beau, and I love to draw fantastical creatures, ancient swords of magical might, and little creepy cute guys." Beau does a series of stickers based on these little cute characters, and they're great. They're all amazing. "I'm going to release these sketchbook zines in monthly issues, so you can watch as my progress as my art evolves. I called my sketchbook series Muddy because I love the charming nature of muddy, rough, unfinished sketches, and I hope to one day loosen up enough to see that same charm in my own work." Beau is also extremely humble. Thank you for coming with me on this adventure. So let's flip through some of these, and I'll keep it. I think I'm going to keep it down here so we can kind of look at each page as we flip through here. The great thing about sketchbook zines, and I'm so bad. I need to get back into sketching. I mean, look at that. You go this is what I was saying. You go from one page to the other, and you just never know what you're going to see. So I see these little cute characters, and then it moving together into this sort of montage and various levels of detail, and then you get this really quite detailed Medusa statue study here, and then he's this really rendered. Beau decided to really render this one out. And then you got these cute little characters once again, and you see that stream of consciousness that they're doing. I love it. Oh my gosh, look. Every page is just this gift. You get these cute little great characters, more detailed stuff, and then even, really fleshing this out from different styles of characters. There's a little bobbin of thread. Study on different eye shapes. Oh my gosh, this adorable little guy here. Various styles of bread. Little bread bro is what I'm going to call the bread bro. And the pear, pardon me. Oh yeah. So when I see Beau's renderings of these sorts of characters with this style, this one here, this one here, this one up here, I want to see a video game with Beau's art as the character designs, because I can picture the game, and it's like my style of game. I can just picture it. This great style. Yeah, it's cool to see somebody's art progressing through a sketchbook. That's why I need to get better at doing that. It's fun to be able to follow this along and see Beau's journey. I'm hoping that I'll be able to pick up more of these as time goes on. So we're seeing some really cool stuff. This is more reminiscent of the sticker series that Bo does. But just really cool creatures and character design. Oh yeah, and I want to, Bo, if you're watching this, let me see more of your explorations into animals like this. That is, I'm loving everything, but boy, did that ever jump out at me when I see your sort of take on partial realism on that. Oh my gosh. Oh, and this wow, everything. I don't know. Everything is so good. Bo is one of my favorite people to showcase on this channel, just because I know I'm going to see so many different styles. Like, look at the intricacy on this sort of robot mech character, and then you get these cool, cute, like future Tamagotchi, medieval village. Oh wow, great character designs. Really great character designs. Space cat of some sort. Oh my god. Wow. Really impressive. So if you like this stuff, like I keep saying, follow Bo at Bobo T. Thank you for checking out my art. This is not the end, it is only the beginning. The adventure continues in the next issue of Muddy, a sketchbook adventure for the senses. Mainly for your eyes. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Nice work. It's got the Sour Cat seal of approval. It's got this Sour Cat seal of approval. Nice work. Nice work. Oh, this is a really interesting one that we're about to show here as well. So I met this artist who is from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Made the trek down to Calgary, which is no small trek. It's a big trek. I've taken a quick flip through a little bit of this, but I haven't delved into it a whole lot. So it was great. So Mike was here just trying to meet other artists from Alberta and see what the scene was like down here, and kind of let people know that yes, there is a scene, there is a comic book scene in Grand Prairie, Alberta. The great thing about everywhere is that there's an arts and creative scene everywhere you go. So Mike Moman, his work does Oldsmobiles with laser guns. The way he described it to me is this group of friends find an old Oldsmobile in a back lot, which just so happens to be able to travel through space. So this group finds the special feel in an Oldsmobile and travel through space. I like the style on this one, like the characters being kept very simplistic like this. It reminds me of the old there's a animated series back when I was in college that had a style like this, and it's cool. It reminds me of that. And also, yeah, really nice coloring washes on these. The washes on the cars look really good. And you can, it's just, yeah, it's just three buds flying through the cosmos. Pretty cool. It's done some cool blurring effects to show motion. Good lettering. Good lettering work here. Yeah, so you kind of get a space adventure. Space adventure in an Oldsmobile. Yeah, really nice work on this. Really quite nice work. Oh, he's got a nice fake advertisement on the back, which is always fun. Vigaric is it. When you think bug bars, think Vigaric. With 50% more bugs. I love a good fake advertisement put in a comic book. Let's take a quick flip through. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but we're going to take a flip through of the second issue as well. Hi, Funny Bunny. I did take a break. We came back at about not quite an hour ago. Okay, so here's number 2. Oh, it's good. It gives you a story recap from number 1 of the battle they had. Let me just read this very first one to you. So these guys are just totally doing nothing wrong at all, flying around in neutral space, delivering something for their friend Paz. But the space cops come up to them and get all up in their face. They're like, pull over or something, and say they're gonna give the beat down. Mike is like, no way. And then he makes the Oldsmobile do like a double roundhouse jump kick. They totally blew up a space cop. I love the way he writes it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so Oldsmobiles. Oh yeah, that's a great scene. Ooh, look at that scene. Let's take a moment to take a look at this. This is a great splash page. Like it's from a 3/4 perspective, and the 3 characters running, the 3 guys running, and you see their shadows thrown out in front of them as they run back to their car here as there's an explosion. That's really good. That's really cool. Yeah. Mike is doing good work. Ooh. Now I want space chicken. Now I want space chicken. Yeah, nice work on that one. Apparently there is a comic expo up in Grand Prairie, so I might have to try to it's a long ways, but boy, it might be a fun one to do. Maybe I can find some more ghost towns up in that area. I have a few up there that I might do. So here's just an art print that I got that I traded from Marie. Marie is an artist who also does work with, it's called Horror Show Comic, I believe is what it's called, the Horror Show Comic. But Marie does this really quite cool art. I thought this one was pretty cool. You almost have this like puppet clockwork almost feel of this character. Pretty cool. You have this almost like stitched together marionette of a dancer. Yeah, nice work. She does so she does work in it, does her own prints or her own artwork, as well as does work for the I think it's either called Horror Show Comic or Horror Shop. I'm sorry, it escapes my brain at the moment. But nice work on that one. Next one, frequent person we've seen here, Cam Hayden. Grabbed Cam Hayden's newest little collection comic here called The Least I Could Do. Comics by Cam Hayden. What I really like that Cam's been doing is Cam does a lot of shorter comics as well as ones that he does for submissions to various publications. And some of those, what he'll do is he'll collect those after they've been published or not published and collects them in these nice anthology formats. Really smart way to do it. So he's collected a one here called Roomies from the Tomb from Scary Monsters magazine, where it is these adorable folks. Roomies from the Tomb. Come on, camera, we have to do it. We have to do this justice. There we go. Gory Spelling's conjuration was a success, and Tuxedo Hunchback has re-entered the land of the living, as if it were an all-you-can-eat buffet. as usual, Cam's style is just so good. It's it's pulpy, it's gory. It hits me right in the EC horror comics heart of myself. Here's a strip that he did for the Calgary Arts and Entertainment paper. It's pretty cool. Called The Interview. Yeah. I can't speak highly enough about Cam's work. It's fun, it's tongue in cheek, it's always, he's a little stinker. Um, I think, as I said last time, I don't know how we keep coming up with these 1 to 4 page comics that have a good established, like, it establishes itself very quickly. It has a beginning, a middle, and end, and it always has substance. There's always something in the end that, like, it's got a gag or a punchline at the end, or it's got a wrap up, it's got a conclusion. How he comes up with these things and is able to do it in short formats is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I love this one. This one is about it's about a young man trying to deal with the fact that it shows off once in a while when he's a bit excited. So his dad teaches him that the way to actually talk to the other to the fair sex and to and to manage it is to just have that going out the back, tuck and roll kind of thing. And so yeah, as long as you stick it back, it it works out. And then it turns out that they're also a bit excited. Oh my goodness, it's goofy stuff. And here he's got one. So Rumi's from the Tomb actually has, it's basically based on um the characters from the EC horror comics. You got the old witch from the Haunt of Fear in this way, or it's you got the Crypt Keeper, you got the Haunt of, yeah, you got everybody. The Roomies from the Tomb and their continuing adventures. He Cam does a lot of ones that kind of have tongue-in-cheek Western themes as well, which is great. Speaks to me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're not going to read through all of these. I just wanted to show just wanted to show this great collection of Cam stuff. Um, yeah, amazing stuff. Here's a continuation, I believe, of a piece he did, yeah, in From Keeping My Day Job, which is another collection that we took a look at. The Swappets. The Swappets. Not based on anything. Just called the Swappets. Here, here he's got the dude from Blues Traveler with his uh, many harmonica'd vest. Nice work. Oh my god. This stuff just makes me laugh. And the best thing about picking up a Cam Hayden is that you always get a really beautiful really beautiful drawing from him. So he drew this at panel 1. What can I say about Cam? Okay. We're on the last couple here, and then we have some special shout outs. We're on the last couple of pieces here. I'm just going to quickly reconfigure things. There we go. So this is from Jim B. So Jim B does these really cool, like, painterly style pieces, like lots of painting. Something you may have seen in previous editions of this program. Probably, I think my favorite pieces from Jim B, he does these little recreations and repainted versions of the old like Batman '89 trading cards and things like that. I love that. I love to see how he kind of reinterprets that and renders that. Yeah, so this one's called "Who is the Mysterious LAD" for sophisticated readers. It's a double feature. BFF and the Fatal Charade. Yeah, so the cool thing about Jim's work is, boy, and it really shows nicely. The color really shows nicely on this camera for some reason. Once in a while, this camera actually works well. Yeah, the color, the robot eyes and things. Wow, it looks great. Yeah, so pure, all painted. Like I can't imagine how much work has to go into this and how much time Jim puts into these. Painting every panel. I find it quite stunning. Look at this eyeball, this disembodied eye. Yeah, Jim's work is pretty good. So follow him at Art of Jim B. This is the Mysterious LAD. We won't flip through. We won't show everything. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my god. So what I've shown previously is this existential romance. I don't think I have the Side Adventures of Beatrice Plot. But I do have this version. I do have this edition of existential romance. So Jim's work is quite cool. Yeah, just I can't imagine what it takes to paint all of this and then to work back into it and do all your lettering and do everything else. Pretty amazing. And on the back here, I'm not going to fold it up, but Jim has done a Mad Magazine style fold in. Oh my god. I can't imagine how much work it is to try and figure this out. Nice work, Jim. Okay, this is our last piece of the night, and then we've got, like I said, a couple of special shout outs to some additional folks. This is Band on the Run. Words by Paul McCartney and Wings with illustrations by Kate Beck. You can follow Kate at Kate Letters Lots. I love this because Kate is good at pretty much everything. Kate makes stickers, pins, buttons. I think even apparel. But what Kate really excels at is typography. Kate Letters Lots is the name of the Instagram if you follow there. So the great thing about this piece that I love so much about it is it's an entire book of nothing but Kate doing amazing lettering work, amazing typography, and with really nice drawings. Oh my goodness. You know, sing along. Stuck inside these four walls. I'm not gonna sing the rest. Don't worry about that. I don't have the range of Paul McCartney. And I've been talking all day, so yeah. So nice. Look, and just reinterpreting this song. We saw a couple of zines a few weeks ago from Sarah at So Gay that took a few songs and reinterpreted them. And here we've got the entire Band on the Run reinterpreted. It's like having, like I said the last time we looked at stuff like this, it's like having a drawn music video to go along with it. So you put the song on, sit down, and follow along. Kate's pretty amazing. Kate does, I was mentioning earlier, Kate does stickers, zines, comics, buttons, pins, apparel, a little of everything, and is really amazing at all of it. So yeah, so this is Band on the Run, redone has a beautiful, like the color palette that Kate uses in this is really great. Everything works so well together. Really uses good use of like complementary colors and different color theory. There's lots. I'm seeing a lot of color theory here. A lot of using contrasting colors. Um, really nice. I would sing along to this, but you don't need to hear that. I just love the way that Kate finds a new way to render this stuff in every instance. Oh, so good. I'm gonna have to actually sit down with this and turn on the song and listen along while I read through this. Really nice piece. So let's do a quick run through of everything we looked at today. For those of you who just arrived, and so we had, as we just saw, Band on the Run by Kate Beck, really great piece. We had this great piece from Jim B that is purely all painted. This is all painted inside and out. We had this great collection anthology by Cam Hayden, who's one of my favorites. Irreverent, funny, pulpy, gory, dirty stuff. It's always good. A great art print from Marie. 2 issues of Oldsmobiles with laser guns, which is a really fun kind of space romp with some just some normal dudes, from Mike Moman from Grand Prairie. We had this beautiful sketchbook zine from Beau called Muddy. 2 pieces from Stephen Charles Rosia, Hope Valley and Clutch. Hope Valley had Stephen's art and Clutch had Stephen's writing. This really cool Nuns in Space, written by Heather and art by Kathleen. This brand new release from Shea Proux, which is called Just Happy to See You, which is slice of life with irreverence and surrealism. This really cool, almost parable called The Lion and the Thief from Caleb. This great little, which is also kind of a sketchbook zine from Half Sour Studio. I guess I have to learn how to draw cats now. And this Mexican folklore tale called Scissors from Miss Truzz. Amazing stuff. Now, I have 2 special shout outs of a couple of extra things that I saw at the panel 1 showcase here. And then we're going to move on to some other stuff. So at panel 1, I've got a special shout out for 3 different things. Number 1, this is only, of course, something that'll probably work for you if you're in Calgary here like I am. There's a brand new comic shop opening up in my neck of the woods, which would be pretty cool, called Legends, Comics, and Collectibles. I'm pretty excited about that. It's nice to have a comic shop sort of in my neighborhood. I also met, oh yeah, we're going to do a few of them. We're going to actually take a quick look at this next one. So Legends, Comics, and Collectibles opening up in Calgary soon. I'm pretty excited for that. The next one we're going to talk about, and we're going to actually take a look at this this comic online. It's called Crash and Burn. I'm actually going to fire up the old browser here, and we're going to take a quick look at Crash and Burn. Now, I met the creator at panel 1, and they were telling me about the work that they do, because I was asking them, they talked about how they were also a creator, and they do a queer space opera called Crash and Burn. And I was like, tell me more. Queer? Yes, I'm on board. Space opera? I'm double on board. A queer space opera? Fuck yes. Give me more of that. So it's a team of 2, a writer and an artist. And let's take a quick look at some of this. So I met Kate. Kate Larking is who I met. And it's called Crash and Burn. let's take a quick flip through some of this and just take a and see how it looks. Let's do this. Yeah, we go. Full screen. It's like I know what I'm doing. Really nice artwork throughout. Really good stuff. Cool color palette as well. And I love it when, to come up with your own language for your comic is pretty amazing. The style of this reminds me of another piece I have on the shelf back here, from some other Calgary artists. Um, his name is Christian Fredrickson, I think his name is. And his style, this reminds me a little bit of his style. And look at this. It's you know, we start to get the language barrier through. Just really, really nice work. So I wanted to just quickly show this because I think it's the entire prologue chapter here is all online. So go to go to cb-comic.com. It's over there, and check out Crash and Burn, because it is like I said, let's skip ahead a few pages. It's been told to me as a queer space opera. And it seems to have a lot of political intrigue. There's a little bit of like Space Game of Thrones going on here as well. Yeah, so we get some setup of the story in the prologue chapter, and then we meet the characters. And yeah, I'm looking forward to really delving through it myself as well. Okay, and I have, I think, two more shout-outs of stuff, and then we're going to be done. I wanted to mention I met a creator at Panel One who is doing something really quite interesting. I want to show you. I'm going to bring up my browser again after I bring up the page. So this creator is doing something I've never heard of before. So Joan Lee 2 is not a medical doctor, but they're very interested in medical, the way we talk about medical things, medical procedures, medical information, and trying to make it digestible for kids from an educational point of view. So with that sort of that understanding that more education is good education, right? So they had a set of zines that they had created um, for kids to be able to digest topics to do with medicine, STEM, science, technology, math, and here's a great picture that will show. This is from Panel One this year. So that's Joan there with her kids, and she had these two great pieces. The green soap girl and their itchy allergy. So it was kind of explaining explaining to kids like how skin allergies can happen, and had another piece as well that was all about this one here, about eczema, about skin conditions. And it's just such an interesting thing to see at Panel One. It's my collaborator and I, in my the comic collaboration Genki, Gord and I, we talk a lot about how we think that the visual medium in graphic novels and comic books and zines is the most powerful way to convey information to people. Because we handle Canadian history in most of what we do. We talk about that. And Joan is doing that. Joan is now taking something from a medical and science and technology educational view and using the graphic medium for that. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't manage to grab any of the stuff that they had, but I wanted to talk about that just because it's once again shows the power of the medium of comics and zines, that that can be something that you use to convey that and try and help people out. Cool. One last thing I'm going to mention and throw up on here on the screen is I just wanted to mention that this is something really cool. Another person I met um, at the Panel One Comic Creator Fest was worked with the Calgary Comic Expo, particularly in what they call their Parade of Wonders parade. And that's where the cosplayers come out and they do a parade through downtown Calgary. They actually teamed up with CBC this year, which is our national broadcaster here in Calgary. And actually, we probably won't be able to show any of this, but I'm gonna jump around a little bit. They actually did parade coverage this year of this cosplay parade. I can't remember how many people they say show up. It's like 50,000 people show up and line down. This is downtown Calgary. This is Stephen Avenue, which is a beautiful pedestrian area in downtown Calgary. And it's like 50 or 100,000 people line this entire parade route. And then cosplayers come and parade through in their costumes. And there's music, there's, all sorts of stuff. I won't be able to have too much of the sound here, but yeah. So it's just amazing to see our national broadcaster take an interest in this and rebroadcast and then archive our great cosplayers who, go through downtown Calgary. Pretty cool. Here's a guy in a car. Here's a dude in a car. This is the Alberta Ghostbusters. We have we actually had the last... the Ghostbusters reboot that came out a few years ago was filmed here in Alberta. So yeah, we've got Ghostbusters are very big here. Here's a huge Chewbacca. Yeah, it's great to see that. That's the last thing I wanted to shout out. That's everything. So yeah, thank you so much. What we're gonna do is we will wrap up here today. The next time I come back with comXone, it will be a new set of zines and comics from another event. And I hope you'll join me then. Until then, this will be up on YouTube. I do this one on Twitch, and thank you very much.